Carl here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. Now look, you can say you should know what you're getting in for. You pressed play on a movie called Aquarium of the Dead. What did you expect? Were you expecting Oscar-worthy material? Were you expecting high-quality acting, great visuals on par with The Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing? Were you expecting a deep and detailed story that made you feel something? And the answer is no. Of course I fucking wasn't. It's called Aquarium of the Dead. Even before I knew, even before I found out what I know now about the movie, of course I didn't. The idea is this is going to be trash, but hopefully it's entertaining trash. That, unfortunately, was not the case. It's trash, but it isn't entertaining. That is a real problem. When you're going to make a movie like this, you've got to at least nail that aspect of things. Entertain us. Do not be boring.
All right. Senator Blackburn, good morning.
Good morning.
Right on time as usual.
The senator has a very tight schedule. We can't afford to fall
And I
behind.
had Beth pencil you in so that we could listen to your concerns, your complaints, and we're going to come up with solutions today, okay?
Well, I really appreciate that.
Directed by Glenn Miller, with a story written by Michael Verratti and a screenplay by Mark Gottlieb. Aquarium of the Dead is the third movie in the Zombies trilogy. It stars Vivica A. Fox, Eva Seeger, and DC Douglas. Now there you go. There it is there. Zombies 3. And it's very hard to get excited about this movie knowing it is the third movie in the Zombies trilogy. A series that has delivered very little but crap. The series has its fans. Crazily it has its fans, but we're not one of them. So with this film, we're out of the zoo and into the aquarium. An aquarium of the dead. Now you might be wondering, why don't just call it Zombies 3? The best guess I can harbour is that it's trickery. It's simply this. Zombies is a poisonous name. Zombies 1 and 2 were bad movies. And to hopefully draw people in and trick them, call it Aquarium of the Dead. And then in the movie reveal, it's effectively Zombies 3. The film wastes no time as you arrive at the Shining Sea Aquarium to find an aquatic resident dying. It is an octopus and the staff are desperate to save it, injecting it with epinephrine in a last-ditched attempt to save its life. Unfortunately, this is the same contaminated epinephrine that first turned up in Eden Zoo, the location of Zombies, turning those residents into bloodthirsty undead monsters. So, guess what happens here? The octopus dies, reanimates as a zombie beast, and starts killing the staff before escaping into the air ducts. This film gets off to a hot start. Like, it doesn't hang around at all. Trouble is coming, but luckily, this aquarium is not actually open to the public yet. The staff around the facility, though, they're not so lucky, as the secretions from the infected octopus begin to turn the other residents into zombies. We're talking zombie crocodiles, zombie sharks, zombie crabs, a zombie dolphin, zombie walrus, and even zombie starfish. Yes, it is very dumb, but at this stage in the trilogy, it does wear that stupidity almost as a badge of honor.
Guys, look.
Crush them. That's the only way to stop them.
Help! 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 Get this off!
That does make it more entertaining, but not by much. Aquarium of the Dead suffers from the same problems as the previous films in this series. A tired and formulaic story, bare characters, hit and miss acting, and of course, oh my goodness me, awful effects. The latter could be forgiven, knowing just how low budget the movie is, but they're so bad at times you have to wonder just how much was actually spent at all. To make matters worse though, the film opts to not show you anything at times, instead having the characters react to something off screen before running to the next area and so on. The cast isn't strong enough to make the threat convincing, but the way in which the aquatic residents look is what really harms that aspect. The big bad of the movie being the original octopus, this also happens to be the one with the cheapest looking effects. The worst thing about Aquarium of the Dead, though, is just how uneven it is. Moving at a frantic pace 1 minute, then grinding down to teeth-aching level of slowness. It is jarring and makes the whole movie feel like a slog. Which is a shame, as Aquarium of the Dead is the best of the trilogy, simply because it finally seems to understand what it is supposed to be. It's far too little, too late, though. And I must stress, it is a boring, unentertaining mess of a movie. But when I hold it up against Zombies 1 and Zombies 2, it is a better movie because, as I keep saying, it's dumb and it seems to be proud of that dumbness. However, that is not enough to make this anything more than a chore. I don't think many people will come away entertained by this. You can say it's a low-budget B movie, and that, as I said at the start, should tell you exactly what you're getting in for, which it does. But it just doesn't do anything with that. It's almost like a video game, watching these nonsense characters who have no character development at all move from area to area, meeting the next aquatic enemy, and either mostly running away from it or having a quick battle with it and so on. And each time the CGI is so fucking bad, you'll feel like you're watching a fucking video game, an early PS2 or original Xbox game, graphic-wise. I think the Octopus is easily the worst-looking one, but the Walrus stands out pretty much as well. Nothing looks great in this.
Daniel, is that what I think it is?
Okay, we can just turn back and...
Oh! Now what?
I'd love to have been able to say it was so silly you can't help but enjoy it, particularly when you've got people being attacked by zombie starfish. But it's the fact that it just doesn't work because you don't give a fuck about anyone. The zombie starfish aren't impressive looking. There's no intense gore. There's nothing like that to enjoy either. It just sort of plods along really slowly, as though it's wading through water, until you get to a pretty obvious ending as well. This is the last of this trilogy, apparently. Zombies 1, 2, and then Aquarium of the Dead. And I think it's probably time to let this one rest. I wouldn't bet on it, though. I wouldn't bet on it. The fact that it's changed its name from Zombies 3 to Aquarium of the Dead, I would not bet on this franchise being done just yet. It's not. If it is, it doesn't go out on a high, because it's still a crap movie, but it's the best of the three. What do you think? You seen it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?